All right, so it looks like we got some breaking news here, some brand new polls dropping. So first off, we're going to look at this ABC Ipsos poll that just dropped. This is actually a midnight drop that actually ended up coming out. So Ipsos is a B-rated pollster. So what's going on is it looks like ABC is the sponsor of this poll, so they paid Ipsos to conduct the poll so that they can release it for their news site, it looks like. So we can see here, Harris 50, Trump 45 plus 5. However, this actually should be 51%. This is actually a typo. It's actually wrong. So it's actually higher. So it should be 51 to 45 plus 6. Now, the last poll against Biden that Trump had, Trump was actually leading the poll by 1 point. So that's a 7-point swing. Let me repeat. 7-point swing because you're going from Trump plus 1 to Kamala plus 6. So it's a 7-point spread between them, right? So absolutely massive. Again, this also within likely voters. So something interesting also might be happening here. So we can see this with, they kind of dropped the packs. So you can see these individual polls will drop packs because there's sort of these threesome polls or orgy polls where there's a bunch of people in them. But we can see here with the Ipsos poll, so they're the pollster, but Washington Post, ABC News is the sponsor. So for the registered voters poll, where they have the orgy poll where everyone is in it, Harris is leading by 3 points, 47 to 44. Kennedy gets 5, West gets 1, Stein gets 1. So West and Stein appear to be hurting Kamala quite strongly here. I bet you, her numbers would be higher. We can see in the 1v1 it's higher, right? Then they have 23-36A. I'm not exactly sure how this differs. But it looks like the same exact numbers here. Then we have the likely voters poll. So this is their likely voters poll, 51 to 45 plus 6, which is that's a massive margin. If that does end up happening, it'll be like 2020 numbers nationally speaking, which definitely is not impossible. And it's a massive swing again because last time it was +1 for Trump, right? Also, you have the registered voter poll. This is something kind of interesting. So Harris is 49%. So we're seeing sometimes that the likely voter poll is actually doing better than the registered voter poll, which is actually interesting. It may give us signs or hints that there actually might be a stronger outcome for the Democrats. So, one example is back in, Arizona in 2022, for example, on the election day, it's 1.8 points in favor of Mark Kelly. He ends up winning by over 5 points. So it's a massive overperformance by the Democrats. So maybe it's a hint. Maybe there's going to be sort of a stronger response amongst Democrats than is being estimated by the polls. Typically, the likely voter numbers typically favor the Republicans, but here it seems like there might be some favoring. I think we saw maybe in a Florida poll as well. But this is a 2-point boost for Harris. No loss for Trump, but a 2-point boost for Harris. And nationally, there's a good chance that Trump could get around 46, 47. So it's not like too far off here. So massive leads. And if you look at the Washington Post article, we can kind of do a little bit of a breakdown as to what's going on. Now they're looking specifically at one of the packs, kind of like when you bought like one of those DLC packs, like on Zombies or whatever. It's like 4 maps or whatever. But this is the 49-45 poll that we're looking at here. So this is the registered voter poll. So we can see in August, Harris versus Trump is 49 to 45, saying if the 2024 presidential election will be held today, for whom would you vote? Who would you lean toward among registered voters? So July, Biden versus Trump was a dead heat tie, 46. She's instead got a pretty massive lead here of 4 points nationally. National polls are much more rock solid than state level polling is. State level polling is kind of booty cheeks. So if there's one sign of how the shift from Biden to Harris has affected voters' attitudes on the question of how satisfied people are with the choice of Harris versus Trump. In July, when the contest was still Biden versus Trump, 28% of voters overall said they were satisfied with the choice. Today, 44% say they're satisfied with the choice of Harris or Trump. So you can see a large swing in favor of satisfaction. It says, the biggest shift has come among Democrats. Last month, 20% of Democrats said they were satisfied with the choice of Biden versus Trump. Now, with Harris as the party's nominee, 60% of Democrats expressed satisfaction with the current matchup. So 40% boost, which is pretty massive. You can see this satisfaction rating. Overall, it goes from 28 to 44 from July to August. Democrats go from 20 to 60. Republicans go down. And independents, notably, are also surging. There's a 62% majority of Harris voters say they support her strongly, compared to 34% of those who supported Biden last month. That's an indicative of like some enthusiasm numbers that are going on. And so there's also some important stuff here too. It's saying in a head-to-head matchup with Trump, Harris has improved her standing over Biden among several key groups in the Democratic coalition, including voters under the age of 40 and independents who lean Democratic. The post-ABC Ipsos poll shows her margin over Trump among voters under age 40 at 25 percentage points, compared with Biden's 7-point advantage in July. She also has improved over Biden among independents, who support her by a margin of 8 points compared with the 2-point margin for Trump last month. So this one is huge. So she's also getting a boost among independents, likely because there's double haters who are Democratic-leaning independents, and now they're leaning towards Kamala instead of Trump because they prefer Kamala over Biden. It says that change was concentrated among Democratic-leaning independents, who shifted from 77% supporting Biden after the first debate to 92% for Harris in a new poll. You can see this in this little graphic here. So the boost goes from 46 to 49 from Biden to Harris. Democrats up 3%. Dem-leaning independents up 15%. Republican-leaning independents also going up by 5%. Even Republicans going up. Age 18 to 39, 48 to 59, so it's a big boost. So we can see that, young people, there was a lot of muted support for young people and black people for Biden. So it looks like she's rebounding with those groups. It stayed at 44, 47, gone from 39 to 42 with white people, 79 to 83 with black, and 49 to 53 with Hispanic. And I'm assuming there's still room to grow. It's saying black voters' support for Harris is slightly larger than it was for Biden last month. 79% supported him then, and 83% support her now. Among white voters with college degrees, Harris leads Trump by 10 points, is faring about the same as Biden with this group. So you can also look, she also kind of gets better, she gets better ratings than Trump does on personal attributes. So is in good enough physical health to serve as president, 56 to 26. Mental sharpness, 46-37. Honest and trustworthy, 41-26. Represents personal values, 40-34. Understands problems with people like you, 40-33. So she's also winning on the personal attributes issue, like something that Hillary Clinton would not win on. So it's another big deal as well. These are the issues. So she's still sagging on the economy and immigration, it looks like, but she's pretty much able to win that. Immigration, crime, and that kind of stuff, it looks like. And I guess even the war between Israel and Hamas is pretty interesting. But it's kind of to be projected. Sort of, I think Americans kind of think of, Republicans are stronger on crime or whatever and that stuff, even though they're not. That kind of stuff, they think that, and so that's kind of what they're putting out there. Now, let's look at another poll. So we have another poll here from YouGov. So another likely voter poll. So it's 51-48 in a head-to-head general election poll. 48 seems pretty high. I'd be pretty surprised if Trump managed to get 48 nationally. But this is also another surge of 2 points. Harris was +1, so she's boosted her margin by 2 points. This is like a hot off the presses poll. It came out on the 16th, or it was conducted last day on the 16th. The Ipsos poll is brand new added, but the end date for the actual conducting of the poll was the 13th, August 13th. This one is actually the 16th, so it's much more recent. But you can see that in this head-to-head poll with likely voters, she's up 3. In the orgy poll here, she's only up 2. So it's pretty interesting. Kennedy only getting 2%, Stein getting 1, West getting 0, Oliver getting 0. So pretty interesting. She might be doing better. Some of these polls, I guess, saying she's better in the head-to-head than in the orgy polls, which is pretty interesting. You would think that, hey, with Kennedy in the race, would eat more. But I think there's not really too much statistical significance between them. But just yet another surge going on here for Kamala Harris, even in this YouGov poll that's dropping out there, a B-rated pollster. It's sponsored by CBS News, and it has a pretty large sample size of 3253, although I'm not super positive that this big sample size really matters. They also dropped a battleground poll that now has them tied in the battleground states, so it's a huge surge from Biden's numbers as well. And so she's now opened up a second path to victory in which she could win the Sun Belt, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, plus NC, or she could win Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, or she could win some combination of both. So she doesn't have to win all of the states like Trump does. Trump has to win all of them. Kamala has to win either one path or the other, or some combination of both. But what's clear is Kamala continuing to surge, and we could look at this kind of graph here. So it's up to 2.6 points now. I'm surprised they didn't go higher with the introduction of these numbers from the Ipsos polls, but looks like this is what the numbers is. Maybe the DNC boost. I think she still has some double haters that she can make progress with. So I think she still got ground to cover, but Hopefully she does, because then she can continue to grow. I think ideally you have like a 5-point lead nationally. You want to grow to the point where you have a 5-point. If you have a 5-point lead nationally, you definitely won the election. If you're at 3, it's kind of like, so she's surging. But it's definitely going to be a really, really close election. Going to come down to the razor margin. Hopefully it doesn't, but we need to prepare like it does, just in case, because we don't want to end up in like a 2016 Hillary situation.